I was curious with a short week, how do you account for that? I mean, I think on Mondays it's usually a recovery day. Friday's a walkthrough. Do you maybe not go with one of those and do something different and guess so you can you need to get your practices in
Yeah, we actually did a little bit more yesterday.
than you
You
might
know,
normally. Yeah.
normally do, but it was still we weren't in pads. Today was really a normal Tuesday, and then tomorrow will be our Thursday practice.
Hmm.
So Wednesday will be our Thursday practice. Then we'll travel on Thursday. So you basically lose a day. You just do the best you can with it, with what you have.
And then obviously with the night game, I mean, everything's different for you. I mean, just the whole routine. But you think these guys are adaptable in that way? And I think we've talked in the past about sometimes when you go on the road, it makes things a little easier.
Well, what we've done is we've tried to tailor everything so it's similar. And so just in a Tulsa game, we've been tinkering some stuff, and Coach Fitz and our strength staff and our training room staff kind of. I feel like I like what we do now on night games.
Hmm.
Because you never know. Do you lay around all day? Do you, do something in the morning? And we've done everything in the 12 years been the head coach. But I like what we do now, and it helped us versus Tulsa. We'll do the same thing versus UConn.
Well, we've had this discussion before, but this shapes up similar to a few years ago when you played Temple. It's 12-week exams, a short week. I think you said you learned from that experience the last time, correct?
Well, just do not take it for granted, and don't dismiss it, and just pretend like it's not there.
You had to account.
You have to address it. You have to address it. You have to account for it. But it is what it is. We can't call UConn, hey, can you guys give us an extra day or take it easy on us? We had exams. We just got to address it, and I feel like we have.
Right. With our guy Bijan Nichols, the kicker, I mean, I saw him with the turnover chain. They gave them that, and they a lot of hype, a lot of. I'm sure he's been overwhelmed with text messages and people in the hall. How do you try to keep a young kid's head on straight? Because it was as great a kick as it was one kick, and you may gonna need him to make some more kicks.
Yeah, and the change not a turnover change. It's a little different significance, but it's cool that he got it.
Right. Well, I thought it was usually for the defense, but that was nice of them to give a kicker the chain.
He's the guys on our team love him. I mean, he's got a funny personality. You know what I mean? And he's so mellow, which for a kicker you want, and nothing seems to bother him. And again, what you want for a kicker, and he's got a really good leg.
And you're not worried about him losing focus or anything because of him making a big kick and getting a lot of attention.
No, I think he's the same kid. I mean, he's the same kid, and kickers, you have to have your routine and you have to have what you do, before you kick, and I think he'll stick to that.
On the special teams note, I've been meaning to talk to you about Garrett Wynn. I think he's doing a really good job as the punt returner. He's going at right present on pace to have as many punt return yards as anybody's had in a while here. He catches the ball, he gains yards. Can you just talk about Garrett Wynn and how have you been pleased with his performance back there?
Garrett is as good as we've ever had. I mean, he seems like he always makes the first guy miss.
Yeah, he does.
There's sometimes a safe punt, we tell him, hey, just fair catch it, and he still returns it, and he makes the first guy miss. But he does a really good job. Really, really pleased with him. Because, there's hidden yards there. Obviously, you obviously want to catch the ball first. And years past, you try to make sure we had guys who could catch the ball and don't lose hidden yardage. But it's always nice, too, if you can return it, and he's done that. And the other part, too, is Owen. I mean, Owen's punting the ball really
He
well.
had another great game on Saturday.
So our special team's doing a lot of good things right now. We just got to continue to improve.
Was there anything you saw in Wynn? Because you had Jake Springer, who had returned punts last year. And what was it you all saw in Garrett Wynn that led you to think that he might be good in that role? And
Well, he did some stuff in practice. He did some stuff that kind of caught your eye. In the Holy Cross game, he caught the ball or caught the pitch on third down plays and fourth down plays, and he made people miss. And he just did enough to give, Warren a chance. And when he got in there, he did great.
right. And last but not least, we were talking with Strauss about you have two slot backs who are really averaging high numbers. And it might be overlooked with Malcolm get all his yards and now Jamal, but KK and Taz are both, when they get the ball, they're making things happen.
Well, it helps you, obviously in triple option. If you got your fullback, your quarterback, and your pitch, guys all operate at a high level. You got to block for each other in the perimeter, which they do. The A-backs and the wide receivers and O-line. Malcolm's been doing a good job of distributing it, but they're doing a lot of good things, and it definitely helps when your A-backs start getting big chunks.
So what's it been like since Saturday night when you kicked the game-winning field goal? I mean, I've started seeing on social media, I got these guys, Bijan, the new superstar, came and visited the 55 tailgate. We love this kid. I mean, you're like the new hero of Navy. What's it been like for you?
I mean, it's been pretty cool, I guess. People have been saying hi to me that I don't necessarily know, but my job's still the same every week, so I just need to focus on that and keep doing what I've been doing.
Well, that's why I mean, you're obviously worried when you have a big event like this and you get a lot of attention about focus and keeping your head on straight, but you don't seem like you're that kind of guy. You seem pretty level-headed and even-keeled.
Thank you. I try to strive to be that way and just focus on what I need to do.
So after the game, I saw that they gave you the chain, which, is usually a defensive thing. How cool was it for a kicker to get the defensive chain around their neck?
It was pretty cool. It was good. I tried to put it on first, but it wouldn't fit over my helmet. Then I had to kind of reconfigure it and get it on.
That was pretty neat that you had some pictures with that on. What I noticed that when you made the kick, you saluted. Where did that come from?
I've been doing that kind of on and off since high school. I feel like if I hit a good ball, usually I'll do just a little salute.
Really? Even before you were a Navy commit and all that?
Yes, sir.
Maybe that presaged the fact you were going to come to Navy.
Maybe.
That you like to salute. But that's just something you've been doing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I guess it hasn't really been noticed until just now, but I've been doing it for a little bit.
So, I mean, when you kind of recap that feeling of having your teammates mob you like that and just the whole, I mean, that's something that you dream of, really, if you're a kicker, a game-winning field goal in a game that means a lot. In that situation, time expires. I mean, is it get any better?
No, it's a great opportunity, and I was happy to have it and be able to execute and have things play out the way they did.
But not being Mr. Negative, that you know how this whole fan base is. It's what have you done for me lately? If you don't make the next one, you're not the fan favorite anymore.
Right. It's week in, week out. I got to keep doing your job.
Right. Well, I've been very impressed with your punt returning. You're doing a fantastic job putting up good numbers. I mean, while we start at the beginning, what's your experience of punt returning prior to coming to the Naval Academy?
I caught a couple punts in high school, nothing too crazy, but I've been catching punts since high school.
So when did you start to kind of get in the mix? Because last year Jake Springer was the punt returner, and I kind of figured he'd do it again. But I'm thinking maybe he's got an important role in defense. They don't want to expose him. When did you enter the punt return mix?
I wasn't in the mix at all last year. I caught a couple punts early this year in practice, and then Jake and CJ were ahead of me on the depth chart. Jake had a couple shows. CJ got the job. CJ got hurt a little bit, and they threw me out there on twins. Me and Jake were out there together because we had a sporadic punter. And they liked the way I returned it, so they just put me back out there.
What was the first game that you did punt returns then?
Memphis.
Right. What do you think it takes to be a good punt returner?
Just focus on catching the ball, fearlessness. You can't be scared of them guys running down on your head. Just catch the ball, get upfield.
What you've done a really good job, and Coach Nehemiah just mentioned in our interview, of making that first guy miss. Is that just instinct? I mean, how do you – because like you said, it'd be nice to be able to look and see who's coming and where they're coming from, but you can't be doing that. So by the time you catch the ball, if you're going to make the first guy miss, you got to almost have a second sense.
Yeah, it's kind of instinct. You can't really think about it too much. If you think too much, you're going to do too much, and that's how you drop the ball. So it's just kind of instinct.
So you like it?
Yeah, it's fun. It's great to get out there and get a role on the team.
And are you surprised with your success?
Not surprised at all. If you come every day and just grind, you put out the product on Saturday.
Well, let's first do a little debrief on Saturday. In your view, what happened out there Saturday?
Well, still trying to figure that out a little bit. No, it's got off to a great fast start.
A bunch of 3 and outs.
Yeah,
You're doing what you had to do. You're pressuring the quarterback, getting sacks, getting tackles for loss. Yeah. What changed?
Yeah. Well, we had a couple of communication breakdowns. Had a couple of guys not executing a call. Then things started to spiral a little bit. We were on the field quite a bit in the second half. Got a little tired and fatigued, and then when you get in that way, right, then you got to really focus in on the little details of doing your job, right, playing as hard as you can, and we lost that a little bit. You look at the rushing yards that they had, 160 of it was after contact.
Yeah, I could tell. I noticed, right.
So that's something that we've been really good at up to this point, and so it's a little disappointing, obviously. We got to do a better job.
So they obviously did a nice job mixing the run and pass. I mean, the quarterback's a good quarterback, and he's a dual threat, which is always tough when you never know if the guy's going to put it down and run, and he could do that. But, they were out their top 2 tailbacks, and the next 2 guys looked pretty darn good. I mean, was that at all disappointing, or did you just figure, Tulane's a good rushing team?
No, we knew going into the game they're an exceptional rushing team and really, really good offense. And I knew that they were going to get some yards and they were going to make some plays. The thing that I struggle with is when we have self-inflicted things that happen during the course of the game. We give them gifts, we miss tackles, we don't fit things correctly, and those are things that we've done really well up to this point. So, the fortunate thing is we won the game. It's always easier to come back and make corrections and get after these guys after a win than it is a loss. So we've got some things to clean up. Our players know that. They've seen the film. We've got to move forward, flush that down the toilet, learn from it, and move on.
Well, that's what Cromartie said, because somebody said, you were put on the field time after time. So, the offense had a bunch of 3 and outs. But Cromartie said, look, our job is to go out there if we have to and get stops. And the missed tackles, I think, no matter how tired they were, I don't think you can accept that. And I don't know what the count was, but I saw one play where there was 5 or 6 missed tackles on one play.
Yeah, no question. Like I said, we've got to do a much better job. We talk about adversity all the time, and we had that on Saturday and didn't respond as well as I'd like us to. And first time we've been on the field that long, and so we got tired. Obviously, we got to do a better job of getting guys in and out off the field when they need a blow. But at the end of the day, it's just about doing your job, even when you're tired. All right, and that's where the breakdown was. We got tired. We had guys trying to make plays that weren't theirs to make. And when you do that,
Everything
you
gets
have
out
a
of
breakdown.
whack.
That's right, and it starts to domino, and that's a little bit what happened Saturday.
Right. The other thing I'm going to ask you, I'm doing a little feature on Falkland. I think he's been having a pretty good season, playing well. He got player of the game again this week. What can you say about Evan?
I'm extremely happy with the way Evans played all year. I've never coached a kid that plays as hard as he does from the snap to the time the whistle's blown. Like he played 67 snaps, graded out 100% effort-wise on Saturday, and it's been that way the entire year. And I think he's one of those guys that's gotten progressively better every week. Really his first time playing high safety this season. So I couldn't be more pleased with the way he's playing.
So obviously he was a striker last year. When you got in and looked at the film and saw what made you switch him back to the third level, back to safety? What did you see in him that you thought he'd be better in that position for your defense?
He's a tall, longer, rangy guy that can run. Played quarterback in high school. I think he sees the field well, plays well in space. And those are that's why I'm making tackles and running around and triggering at striker. And I thought that'd be a good transition to move him to free safety, and it was.
And without giving away state secrets, in a very fundamental way, what are you asking of your free safety?
Well, the same thing we ask for our bandit safety. We talked about being erasers back there, keeping everything in front of us. Got to be great tacklers. Got to play with great vision, right? And got to be really good in coverage.
And, you mentioned he was a Rhodes Trophy winner as the player of the year in this county as a quarterback, an outstanding high school quarterback. He came here and switched positions a couple times before he finally settled in on defense. But do you think when you look at him, he's just a football player?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love to recruit guys that played quarterback in high school.
For defense?
Yeah, because typically those are the guys that are one of the best athletes on the field. They're typically one of the smartest guys on the team. And they see things a little bit differently, and usually they're good leaders as well. So he's transitioned from being a quarterback in high school to really being a quarterback in the back end for us.
And I'll ask him about this, but your thought, he's got the cast on, and it doesn't look like it's slowed him down one bit. He's playing with reckless abandon. Doesn't seem to, he's not, sometimes that would get into the guy's head. I got this impediment, but.
No, he's tough as nails, and it hasn't affected him at all. And I know he's dealing with some pain. He's one of those guys that's just really, really unselfish. Really defines what a Navy football player is all about, and he's playing through it. And he can't take on blocks the same way. Yeah. Obviously, can't wrap up the same way. But with that being said, he's played as well as he could have in that situation the last couple of weeks.
I think you're having a really good season. You've been playing well. You got Defensive Player of the Game this week. I know you got the Blue Collar Award one week. What can you say about the season you're having? Are you pleased, Evan?
I just really got to keep getting better. Safety's still a new position to me, so I'm not really looking at thinking about it like that. I'm just trying to get better, and I have a lot to improve on. So just coming out here every day, trying to get better.
So when they talked about, you've bounced around, and you kind of had settled in as striker last year, and you played pretty well at striker, and you probably figured you found a home. And then Coach Newberry comes in and says, "No, you're going back here to free safety." What was your thought on that?
I was pretty excited just because I thought some of my skill sets would work out well at safety. So I was just excited to try a new position. It's always fun to try to learn something new. So, yeah.
Coach Newberry just told me that part of the reason he thought that is that you're kind of a tall, angular guy, also you were a quarterback in high school, and that safety needs to be able to see the field almost. Is it similar to being a quarterback? Are you kind of seeing the field the way you would as a quarterback?
Yeah, it's kind of similar. You're trying to see where all the receivers are going, especially when we're in vision coverage from covering a zone. So yeah, in some ways, yeah, it's definitely similar and making checks. So yeah, it's definitely tough from a mental perspective, for sure.
So, and you're without giving away state secrets, what do you feel like your job is as the free safety?
Definitely one of my major jobs is just making sure if anything gets to second level, get it tackled. We're just really trying
Coach
to.
said he calls you the guys erasers.
Yes, we're punishers and erasers. That's what he always says. So, come and clean up plays and make sure if anyone gets through that's not supposed to, we clean it up because we're definitely trying to eliminate big plays this year. And if you look at games like Tulane, we had a lot of big plays, and that was a close game. They scored a lot of points. Memphis, they had a few like huge plays, and we lost that game. So if you look at like those two, it's a big reason why we've had a couple rough games, big plays. So we're trying to eliminate those.
But you've been playing with reckless abandon. I mean, I see you flying around and sacrificing your body and just kind of playing like, reckless abandon is a perfect a word or phrase to describe the way you play. Is that a mentality you've developed since you started playing defense?
Yeah, I'm just really trying to fly around with 100% effort. I think that's what we're all trying to do out here, regardless of how tired I am. So really just playing as hard as I can. That's really just trying to put out as much as I can because I know all my other guys on offense and defense, we're all trying our best and they're putting it out for me. So I'm going to do what I can to play the best of my ability.
So for the last 2 weeks, and I believe it was the Tulsa game when you got hurt, you played with the cast on. What's it like to do that? I mean, I know you, like Coach just said, you can't wrap up the way you would like to. You maybe can't take on blocks the way you'd like to. How are you adapting to playing with a cast on your left hand?
Yeah, it's definitely harder to tackle and getting off blocks. So yeah, those are probably the two hardest things. Also, like if I was in a situation where I needed to get an interception or something, it's a little harder. Maybe like a one-hand catch or something. But I haven't been in that situation yet. Yeah, so I was just trying to adapt to it. I think I'm getting more comfortable with it every day. So I'm almost out of it. One more game.
Good.
Feel pretty good.